Imagine for the rest of your career you would only ever need one lens that fits all projects and is just all around perfect. Well, the Catta Ace 18-35 is unfortunately not, but what it is and what makes it even special and why you should maybe consider it, you're gonna find out in this video. Coming up. Hi guys, my name is Paul, I'm a German-based cinematographer and this channel is all about filmmaking, gear reviews, but also DaVinci Resolve tutorials. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribe, it's free and it helps the channel out. So in this video we are talking about the DZO Catta Ace. It's a full-frame 18-35 zoom cinema lens. And as you follow my channel along, you maybe have seen that I really like the Vespid Primes. I'm a big fan of the Vespids. I use them all the time. And unfortunately, this lens here didn't convince me. But I also have to say right away that I'm a sucker for prime lenses. So I'm a prime guy, so to say. And I'm not really a zoom guy, but overall I've used thousands of lenses in my career and I have a pretty good understanding of what a lens should do, and unfortunately this lens is not for me. And since I want to end this video on a positive note, I will start with the things that I didn't like about this lens. First off, when I compared it to my 35mm Vespid Prime on a T2.9, this lens is about quarter or 3/4 or so, almost a stop darker as my Vespid Prime. So, and actually these ones here are measured in t-stops, so even across different lenses, a t-stop should always the exact measurement of the light that gets transmitted through the sensor. But unfortunately, this is not the case here. What I also don't like is compared to my Vespid Primes, the lens looks very warm, and I would have wished that even across the same manufacturer, DZO, that the look of the lens or the color temperature is the same, but unfortunately that's not the case. And also like the 35mm, when compared to my Vespid Prime 35, the focal length should be the same actually, but as you look closely here, it's different. So this one looks more punched in. So don't know if the Vespid Prime is not actually 35 or what's the deal here, but I was shooting from the exact same spot. And the last thing that I didn't like is that this lens is really heavy and long. I know from the construction side this is hard to deal, but overall my rig always was very front heavy when I was using this lens, and I've used it on a recent shoot, and after that my arm was burning because I always had to fight against the lens basically, because my rig was so front heavy. So I rather have basically a lens that is smaller and more nimble to keep my rig nice and simple. But now let's come to the positive things that I really like about this lens. First, it is full frame, so you can use it with a variety of cameras, even like the EOS R6 or other cameras, so it covers full frame. And also from the variety that you get from 18mm, that looks pretty nice. I mean, 18mm on this lens looks really nice, I really like that. And also to the reach to 35, you have basically a very nice zoom range that you can use, and that's really handy. And also when I was using that on a recent project that I used it, this lens really did well for me because I didn't have to change lenses once. So the zoom range that I got out of here was basically perfect for all what I needed that day. The other thing that I really like is the DZO build quality. So the materials feel nice, or the T-stop, the zoom ring and the focus ring, they have a nice texture feeling, and you can rotate it and it feels nice and tactile, and everything is built like really well. And also they come in two different versions from the mount, like PL and EF. I've also swapped it myself. It's pretty easy, you just need to release some screws, and it's very simple basically, and that's something that I also really liked on this lens here. The other things that I like are basically about the image quality that you get with this lens. So overall, as I've said in my Vespid review, I really like the organic look, the nice bokeh that they produce, and yeah, that's the same look that you get with this lens here. The bokeh, actually that's the right pronunciation, bokeh. And the bokeh looks really nice on this lens. It directly reminded me to my Vespid Primes, so that's really like, and it also has like a nice soft organic look to your footage, so it's not overly sharp, and therefore I really like it. And also like breathing, you don't get breathing if at all, and you don't have chromatic aberrations and stuff like that, so optical wise that lens is really nice. Now I will say that this lens handles flares differently as my Vespid Primes. On my Vespid Primes you see the flares quite, and that's something that you have to like or not. And on this lens here on the Catta Ace, they are pretty much under control, so you don't get the crazy flares. So overall, but personally, I really like the look that I get out of this lens. So to summarize it, is the Catta Ace a really nice lens? Well, in terms of the variety that you get, absolutely. And DZO has a really nice range also in terms of the Catta Ace, from full frame zoom lenses all the way through. So yeah, basically you got covered. But personally, I won't buy this lens for that the light loss here is so different. So again, T-stop should be the same across different manufacturers, therefore we have a T-stop instead of an f-stop, and I feel like this lens here is a little bit too dark for my taste. And also zoom lenses, whenever I use the CINE zooms, they're too heavy for me when I'm shooting handheld, and most of my stuff that I do, I love the handheld shooting, so I will keep on using my primes instead. But for everybody else who is looking for a really nice lens that has this organic feel and has the variety from the wide end of 18mm to 35mm, I think the Catta Ace from 18 to 35 is just perfect. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this lens, and I'm gonna see you in my very next video. Cheers!